She's perfect. She's perfect. See, hi everyone, my name is Nyazika. Thank you so much for joining me on my channel. So in this video, I wanted to share with you my delivery story as well as my pregnancy journey. So last year around this time, March 2019, I discovered that I was pregnant. I didn't take long at all to get pregnant. I literally got the coil taken out and I was pregnant. So I got the coil taken out at the beginning of March 2019, and then I was pregnant by probably mid-March. The pregnancy itself was horrible. It was horrendous because I was literally sick all the time. I couldn't cook because the smell of the kitchen made me sick. I was admitted once because I was severely dehydrated and I lost weight. The doctor prescribed cyclizine. I didn't like it because one of the side effects is that it makes you high. So I didn't like it. So it will suppress the sickness when you take it. But I felt like the day after I took it, the sickness came back with a vengeance. I was literally like vomiting the whole day. Sorry, Baba. Yeah, so that was that, and then I was prescribed vitamin B6, which helped, but I was still vomiting. So it lessened the frequency, but I was still vomiting. And then so around about 8.5 months is when the sickness started slowing down, and I was able to eat, and gain the weight. So I did that in the last 2 or so months of my pregnancy. So on Wednesday the 11th of December in the evening, I started feeling some sort of pain, and I was like, oh, okay, what is this? I was sitting with my mom, and I was like, you know what, let me just go and lie down. Maybe I'm sitting in the wrong position. Let me go and lie down so that this pain will probably go away. So I was due on the 15th of December, which was actually our wedding anniversary, but baby came early. So yeah, so on the 11th, that's when my contractions started. I had an app that I was using to monitor the contractions and to see the frequency of them. So through the night, I was literally just getting up and standing. Whew, it was painful. And they were coming on fast. I thought they would take a while, but they were coming on fast. So we then called the hospital at around 5 a.m. and then they said, okay, well, they need to be at least 5 minutes apart before you can come in. So we're like, okay, fine. So 4 or 5 minutes, we called them, and then we said we're on our way, and they said that's fine. We went. And because so many people get turned away because it's not time yet, they're not in active labor, we weren't sure if we're going to be coming home or not. So I didn't really want to rush going to the hospital, but we did anyway. And we told them that we were on our way there. And then so we went. So what they do is that they usher you into a room where they have to check how dilated you are. And when I went in around 8:30, I was about 4 centimeters. So they admitted me because I was now going into active labor. So that was good. I wasn't turned away. So that meant pretty much that it was pretty fast. My dilation came on pretty fast. So they check you. They tell you everything. Is there anything we need to know? I had opted for a water birth. My friend had her water birth when she had her son, so she encouraged me to have the same. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll go for something different. And she told me all the positives of why to have a water birth. So yeah, and I also did my research, and I was like, okay, fine, I think we'll do that instead. So they got me a room that had the water bath, and they checked me in. So they check you every 4 hours to see how far you are, and in between those 4 hours we're checking the baby to make sure that the baby is not distressed or anything. So at 1 o'clock, so I got admitted around 9 o'clock. 1 o'clock they checked me, and you know, the midwife was like, you are 8 centimeters dilated, so this baby should be here, you know, before dinner time, you know, you'll be able to see your baby. So in my mind, I was like, okay, there's an end goal, and we're nearly there, we're pushing forward, we're going for it, you know. And I had the oxygen mask as well, so I was breathing through that when I was contracting. Around 5 o'clock, it was time to get checked again, and then the midwife was like, oh, actually, you haven't dilated past the 8 centimeters that you were 4 hours ago. Whoa. That's when I lost it. I was like, listen, this pain is getting intense, and I don't know if I can wait, you know, and I don't know if I can control this. And then they were like, okay, what do you want to do? We can't call the doctor right now. Let's break your waters, actually, because my waters hadn't broken at that point. So I was like, okay, fine. And then the midwife was like, you know, if you break your waters, it might hurry things along. So I was like, okay, fine, that's fine. They broke my waters, and then, whoa, the pain got intense. It intensified to the max, right? And I was like, whoo, okay, this is bad. I didn't want to be in the water bath anymore, because I had enough, to be honest. It was just too painful. I had enough, and I just didn't want to deal with it anymore. So 7 o'clock came, and then the midwife said, you know, we need to call the doctor. So they called the doctor, because now I was getting hysterical. You know, I had been calm the whole time, and now I was hysterical. So they called the doctor in, and then the doctor was like, sorry, you're actually not 8 centimeters, you're 5 centimeters. What? 5 centimeters? Are you kidding me? Nah, and I was just panicking now, and I just couldn't take the pain anymore, because yeah, it was bad. So the doctor said, okay, well, we're gonna give you an epidural, and see if you calm down, and if you calm down, maybe, you know, you'll dilate more. So I was like, okay, fine. They gave me the epidural, but it was so difficult to get it because I was contracting and I was in so much pain. But you have to lean forward, and you've got this massive belly in front of you, and you have to lean as far forward as you could, and because they needed to make sure they inject you in the right places. And then the doctor's like, well, you know, it might not work, so let's just hope for the best. And I was like praying, and I was like, God, please, 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 please let it work. Luckily it worked. So and then I was like to my mom, look, I have experienced it, I do not want to ever experience it ever again. If I have another baby, I am having an epidural. I don't care what anyone says. If I'm a wimp, so be it, but you know what, I'm going to have an epidural, because I just feel like it's more relaxing. You're not stressed, it's better for me. So so I was really praying, and I was like, God, let me have a natural birth, because that's what I had prepared myself for. And then the doctor came around 11 o'clock and checked me, and then he's like, look, you're still not dilated past the 5 centimeters, so we have to go for the C-section. So I was like, I was so disappointed, because mentally I had prepared, sorry baby, mentally I had prepared for a natural birth, you know, because I was low risk the whole pregnancy, and then now all of a sudden they're like C-section. So I had not mentally prepared. I hadn't done any research. I hadn't asked my midwife about details on it. I hadn't really done anything, because I had been hoping for a natural birth. So I was extremely disappointed. I was sad. I was really, really sad. But my husband spoke to me, and you know, he was just like, you know what, the most important thing is to make sure that you have a baby, and a healthy baby, and that you are also okay, so don't worry about it. So you know, I just had to deal with it. I just was like, okay, I have no choice really. Went into the delivery room. They put all these things on you to monitor your blood pressure, and then you have to wear these compression socks to make sure that you don't have blood clots during the surgery. Yeah, so many things happen. So yeah, so I was awake during my C-section, and then, you know, they just cut you, from what I remember, and then they just take the baby out. So that's the first thing, and then after that it's you know, putting things back in place in your body, and then sewing you up. My husband is the one that cut her cord. He was super excited about that. Yeah, so, and then I just had to lie there for another hour or so while they did their thing. So when they were done, I had to lie there for another hour, and then that's when they were trying to get the baby to breastfeed. They put the baby on the breast to ensure that she latches on as soon as possible, which she did, thank God. It was a struggle initially. She didn't want to latch on. She was just like, you know, like, where am I? She did not want to latch on at all. So yeah, so that was the story about my birth. And then after that, we named her. So how we came to her name was that I asked my husband to research names that he liked, but I made sure that and insisted that I wanted them to have a meaning. So he researched a bunch of names, and then I was able to narrow down the top 3 I think that I liked, and he did the same, and then we chose the ones that we both liked. And then from there we were like, oh, does she look like this? Does she look like a this? Does she look like a that? And then we settled on Jana, which is Italian for God's gracious gift. And then her second name is Nakai, which is from Zimbabwe, so it's Shona. And that's my mom's name, so that's my mom's middle name. So we named her after my mom, which is Nakai. So her name is Jana Nakai Muhlanga. So yeah, so that is her birth story. She was born on the 12th of December 2019. We were very happy that we have been given this opportunity and this chance to raise her and to be her parents. So we're very excited for her future and everything that we are going to be able to teach her. So she came 3 days earlier than she was expected, so that was great. So now all our birthdays and the wedding anniversary is in December, so December is going to be a very expensive month for us, but all in all we're very happy and we are very blessed that we have a little baby girl. So that's it, guys. That's my story. I hope you know it was interesting and entertaining. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video, and I'll let you know in that video the aftermath of giving birth, yeah, and having a C-section. So I'll see you guys in that video. Bye. You've been good, Papa.